Hi guys, welcome to Learning Electronics Repair. I have a thermal camera here, and this is a brand new product. This is the Thermal Master P3. I've reviewed other models from Thermal Master, P2, P2 Pro, T2S Plus, and I have to say they are excellent thermal cameras in their own right. In fact, the P2 Pro is the best I've tried so far, and I use that often in my videos, my repair videos, but today we're going to try this new one. So let's have a look what's in the box. Well, we have a little warranty card, extend up to 3 years, okay. We have a quick start guide, a little user manual. And we have in here a USB lead. So you can use this to connect the camera to your phone, or you can connect it directly. It also has this handy little adapter on here. I like this on this little strap because you can't easily lose this, and if you know me well enough, you'll know I probably would lose it. Maybe you're the same yourself, so that's handy. So you can use this as an extension to connect the camera to your phone. You can also connect the camera to an iPad or to a Windows PC, okay, hence the different connectors on here. It also includes a little adapter we see for iPhones, okay, so we have that. And this is the thermal camera. Nice and solidly made, just take the little sticker off that. This is a handy little holder, by the way, so it keeps the thing safe when you're not using it. We have a manual focus lens here, just rotating that, okay, so this is manual focus. And it tells us here, it will focus from 8mm to 80 meters, and we can see the temperature range here, okay. Let's have a look at the specifications of this little camera. Here is the Thermal Master webpage, new product, P3 available. And we can see the P3, so price $299. If I have any special discount codes or links, I'll put them in the video description for you. It tells us 512 by 384 x3 IR resolution, okay. 8mm macro focus lens, so this should be very good for close-up PCB inspection. 15 times digital zoom. Alloy body. I must admit it does feel very solid, this device. Well made. We have a comparison here with the Flir. In fact, Detlef has a Flir 1 Pro, so a little bit later in this review we're going to make a comparison ourselves to see if this is a fair comparison and how does the P3 compare to the Flir 1 Pro. It's telling us this has a very low power consumption, which is really good. Here we can see which devices are supported by this, okay. It doesn't mention PC, but it says in the documentation that PC is supported, Windows PC that is. Okay, and we can see the actual specification. So the detector, the infrared detector is 256 by 192. The 512 by 384 resolution is done by some sort of upscaling, okay. This is the same resolution as the P2 Pro, which, as I say, is the best I've tried so far. A little bit of information about the focal length. More about compatibility here. Digital zoom, 25 Hz frame rate. That's very good for a thermal camera. So this is a well specified device. Let's try it. Let's see for ourselves. Okay, so I have the camera attached via the extension cable to my phone. I will mention, by the way, normally the camera would be attached that way to the bottom of the phone. So when you use the lead, the image comes upside down. If you hit this rotate button until you get the orientation you want, you can get around that. So we'll do the usual thing with the hand. So you can see my hand here. Okay. Leaves a nice print on the desk so we can clearly see the temperatures there. I'll set the camera to a long distance focus, so you manually focus this just by turning the lens. And you can see I can adjust that very clearly. So that horizontal dark line, that is the aircon, set at about 12 degrees coming out of there. Okay, you can see that. The pipe going down, that's the drainage into the water. Okay, coming out of the aircon. We can zoom in on this. Let's have a look. So just, yeah, stretch the picture. Yeah, there you see. So we have a nice close-up image of that. So this with the manual lens allows me to focus very easily. Okay, let's try something very close up now. So I'll get a motherboard. Let's have a look at that and see how well this works on very close up items for PCB inspection. Okay, and there we have a motherboard which is powered up. I'm holding the camera about, let's say, 14-15 centimeters away from the board, and we can quite clearly see individual components on there. Okay, again, we can actually zoom in like so, but obviously we can move the camera closer than this. So I'm going to bring the camera very close to the board now and just adjust the focus. That is the closest that it will actually focus, and wow, that is impressive. Yeah, I mean, you can clearly see every individual component there. That has to be the closest focusing thermal camera I've tried so far. Even closer than the P2 Pro by quite a bit. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you can see those are resistors right in front of the camera there, these things. Okay, and that's without any digital zoom. That is just literally with the optical zoom. Okay, we can zoom in on that with the digital zoom, of course. Yeah. At this sort of magnification, it's actually difficult to hold the camera still. Okay. For PCB inspection, this is like a microscope. This is like a microscope, yeah. But with the advantage you can mount it further away and just focus and get an overview of the whole board to see what's actually going on. Yeah, okay, I like that very much. I'll be very interested to hear from you guys in the comments down there. What do you think of this? Have you seen better than that on a thermal camera? Now let's try the X3 setting. So this is with X3 off at the moment. So this is using the optical resolution of the sensor. I'm interested to see what happens if I put the X3 on. Will I see any difference? And actually, yeah, it's a little bit clearer. This must be using some sort of interpolation software. Switch it back off again there. There's a visible difference there. Okay, so that's what the X3 does. Now I'll invite Detlef to join us. He's going to bring us Flir 1 Pro so we can make a direct comparison with that one. And Detlef is quite something of an expert on photography, so I'll be interested to hear his opinion on this X3 mode as well. So Detlef, thanks for joining us today.
You will put me on the spot. I'm losing with my Flir here.
Oh, come on now. We'll make a comparison. So, first of all, I want to just ask Detlef about this X3 mode and what he thinks is happening here. So, if I get very close to the board again.
Ooh, that's close.
That is close, yeah?
That is close. That's really close. Nice, and you can tell the temperature. Nice.
Absolutely. Now, that's with X3 mode on.
What's the X3 mode?
Okay, so the actual resolution of the thermal sensor in the camera is 256 by 192, and this X3 mode supposedly gives you a higher resolution.
Well, I'm fine with a normal resolution, I think, because I don't care about. I don't want to make art here. So this would be me analyzing if there's a failure, if there's a component overheating. So I'm probably not so keen on the X3 mode, but you know,
okay,
it's nice to have.
Well, let's try it. So I'm going to switch X3 on now. Okay, if you look at the same image.
Oh, I don't even see a difference.
You don't see the difference. I think if you look at the edges, especially those two red resistors, it was a bit faint. So I don't know. Maybe it's my imagination. You guys out there watching, what do you think? But that's X3 on, X3 off.
If the X3
Back on again. Can you see the difference?
Not really, but I'm fine with the frame rate. Is more the important thing for me here, because it looks like you have a really high frame rate there.
Yep, 25 hertz frame rate.
Cool.
So smooth. But okay, guys, we'll say the jury is out.
Is this a magnification on there?
Yeah. So this is just using the lens. This is not using any zoom.
Ooh.
This is with zoom.
Heck, man. That's nice.
It's very difficult to hold the camera still at this
Yeah, I believe you.
magnification. Yeah, but yeah, we can really zoom in on that stuff.
And you're focusing manual, right?
Yeah, this has a manual focus camera on here.
Yeah.
So 8mm to 80 meters. 80 meters. I think the 80 meters is not the limit of the focus; it's the limit of the distance the sensor can actually pick up the infrared.
Well, 80 meters means infinity in optical terms. So,
Okay.
So you got a very long range of possible focus.
Yeah, really infinity to 8mm then.
Yeah.
So, would you like to show these nice folk out here your Flir 1? And tell us about the Flir 1. You've had this for quite some time, yeah?
Well, I got this Flir. I got this Flir back in the days when I was working in the university, and I needed a thermal camera because, yes, of course, you need a thermal camera. And what do you do when you need a thermal camera? You Google Flir, because Flir is something like, this is the thermal camera.
Yeah, this is like the god of thermal cameras.
Yeah. I don't know why this is. Maybe they were at the right time at the right place, something like that. And actually, they do some military things. So Flir is something in the military. So this is probably why they're so big. So this Flir is now about, guessing here, 5 years old.
Yeah.
So it's a bit comparing apples with oranges, because this is a current project and this is 5 years ago.
True. And I think just on what you said there, maybe people think, well, if it's good enough for the military, it's good enough for me.
Yeah, but again, back in the days, 5 years ago, these things weren't available.
True.
Yeah, so this is a new technology, and back in the days, Flir was the thing to go. They have a new generation. So if you Google now Flir, you see a new generation, it says Gen 3. But as far as I can tell, the specs are still the same. So this is 160 by 120. Yes, I'm reading this from my notes here. It's 160 by 120. So it's not so high resolution. And US regulations cap the frame rate to 9 frames per second.
Really?
Yes, you can't export this because of reasons,
Oh.
Hello, Donald. Thank you for this.
Interesting, because I'm sure these are actually available in the USA.
Yeah, they probably are, yeah. Well, then would it be import? This is export then from the US to the rest of the world,
Okay.
Yeah, and this goes for a whopping $360 as of today.
Wow, so more expensive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Upside, it can handle up to 400 degrees. But this one can
600.
I'm losing it.
Okay.
The one thing this has going, probably, maybe I will just close. This has 2 lenses.
So you have 2 lenses on here. One is infrared and one is optical. Oh, interesting. So that is something this definitely doesn't have. It'd be very interesting to see what difference that makes in real life.
For our applications, it doesn't help a lot. Spoilers.
Oh, okay. So, first of all, we're going to have a look at the most important thing. Caffeine.
Let's see how hot the coffee is. One big downside when you're thinking about buying a Flir, and I have no idea why you want to buy a Flir. This has an internal battery.
Battery?
See?
But it's connected to a phone that has a...
Nobody knows why. And this is not that you can use this standalone for something. It doesn't work this way. This has an internal battery just for having an internal battery. So the downside is this normally lays somewhere in my bench, lives somewhere, and every time I want to use this, I get it out, and the battery is, of course, is flat. So I have to charge it for an hour, and
Whereas this is powered by the phone, and this draws something. I think it says 0.36 watts of power dissipation. This camera.
Don't ask me why. I can't tell you why. But this is a very bad design decision here. So, okay, should we show some pictures?
Yes. So while Jet is plugging his camera into his phone, I'm going to look at this coffee cup. Okay, guys. So this is Det's essential coffee cup. with essential coffee in it. I'm holding the camera about 30 centimeters away, and we can clearly see where the liquid starts down here because it is hotter. Huh?
Yeah, and now there's a downside because red letters on red things.
True, yeah, so it's difficult to read the writing. However, we can soon get around that because we can just use a different palette on the camera.
Oh,
And we can just go for something else.
Oh yeah, this is better.
Yep, so we can soon get around that if we can't see the writing. Okay, so Det's now just preparing his Flir. It takes quite a while to connect there. Yeah, it took what, 20 seconds or so.
Well, this wouldn't be this thing for me because I wouldn't care about that.
Okay.
Oh, this, there goes my...
And that looks quite different.
Yeah. So I'm a bit more wide angle.
Uh-huh.
So because I'm this far away.
Yes. Okay, you're closer, yeah?
Yeah, this far away. So the Flir tells me somewhere.
And we can see the optical image, so we can see the chemical symbol for the caffeine here.
Yeah, true. This is not the Flir that introduced the chemical image. This is just on the coffee cup.
It is, but what I will notice is that on the coffee cup, the chemical image is actually printed on the coffee cup, whereas in your image, the chemical image is partly printed off the edge of it.
Yeah, this
Parallax?
is parallax. Yeah, this is because I have the two lenses. And there's somewhere hidden. I think there's somewhere a hidden function where you can adjust this. I never did this because I wanted to work this out of the box. And normally I simply go for I need a temperature reading. It's a component overheating here. So when I get close, you showed the close-ups before, right?
Yes.
I tried to do this now with a Flir, and I'm getting close here, and I'm getting close, and I'm getting really close. You had some resistors down here somewhere.
Yes, the lit up resistors are more here.
Okay, let me go there.
And this here, this area, yeah. They should be to this side.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere there. Oh, you can see them.
Yeah, but
there's like a yellowish sort of blob.
Yeah, but we saw crisp images from your camera, and this is just a blur. And as you can tell, the edges are now somewhere completely different because parallax. Damn you, parallax. Who invented this physics?
This is a good question. So what we say is the thermal image and the optical image don't line up with each other.
Yeah, and this is, of course, dependent on the distance. So if you want to calibrate this, you have to do this all the time. So to check your distance here. So if I get a bit further away, I can see something there. You see down there,
where it says motherboard BIOS here is actually off the end of the board.
Yeah, and you can tell there's an edge here. The edge lifts somewhere there,
and the image is over there.
So this is not really nice.
I see that.
Yeah.
So can you focus any clearer than that on the components?
Not really. And again, with 160 by 120, there's not much to focus on because I think this is simply physical limitation here. Even if I go closer, then it turns into one big blur. Yeah,
there's a definite difference there.
Yeah.
So how does this parallax affect distant objects?
If I go further away, look at this.
There you are.
Smoking hot. You see, this works somehow. My glasses are a bit in front of my face.
Yes, I see that.
Yeah, you can read my shirt here.
Yeah, I can see it. I was left unsupervised.
Yeah.
Okay. So how about the air conditioner, which is right across the room?
Can I do this without getting you guys out of shot? There's Rich and me.
No, but I can edit.
Wait. Oh my God! Now the desk falls apart. Oh, there's the air conditioner. There's the AC somewhere.
I see the AC
is the blue thing.
It is there. I mean, I will say this image on image thing, if you're doing like distant things, so you're like looking at buildings, solar panels, air cons, this may come into its own in that respect.
And this is what this Flir is for. This isn't for component analysis. This is more for something like you're on a site somewhere and you have an HVAC unit that's leaking somewhere and you want to find out where does all the water go. You simply follow this.
And obviously you can actually see the building as well. So they're really different tools in some respects.
Yeah, I'd say so. So, but again, for $400, I would expect more.
Yeah.
And the thing with the internal battery is
crazy,
bonkers. I have no idea what the engineers thought there back in the days.
Mad.
Again, for 360 quid for this is a lot of money.
A lot of money. Yeah. Okay.
And just for having the little Flir stamp in your screenshots, it isn't worth the money. So
No, agreed.
Yeah.
So thanks, Jet, for bringing your Flir 1 Pro in to make a comparison there. I hope the coffee was worth it.
yeah, of course it is.
Okay.
Would I again buy a Flir? No, definitely not. But again, this is 5 years ago, so there wasn't something like this available.
No.
I probably would go for this one. This is the P3.
This is the P3, yeah. I mean, personally, in the past, I've used the P2. You guys know I use the P2. The P2 Pro with the macro lens is an excellent thermal camera, but it doesn't give anywhere as close as the image of this. So if you're thinking of buying a thermal camera, I would suggest really consider this. There are cheap models on the market, but if you're looking for a professional tool that's going to keep you for years, happy with what you're doing, I mean, electronics are getting smaller,
True.
but you know, with
And
this
their eyes
thing,
getting less sharp.
exactly. So seriously consider this one, guys.
And what I love here, that you can't lose the macro lens. It's included.
Yeah, it's just screwed on. Exactly. So guys, thanks for watching that. Detlef, thanks very much for coming along. I see the coffee is almost extinct now. So what can we say? Not much of that left. Thanks to Thermal Master for sending this for me to review. Okay, I like this very much. Det likes this very much. Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Big thumbs up. Ciao for now, guys.
Ciao for now.